Today we're here to get to know the artists.
DJ Tayy.
We're here with Club Titanic Mango, so let's get right into it. Where were you born and raised, and ethnicity, nationality, what's important?
So I was born Bronx, New York. I don't know if you know where that's at.
Yes.
Okay. Some people don't. So I was born in Bronx, New York. I'm 22 years old. My background, my dad is from Dominica, not DR. Everybody thinks DR, but I'm from Dominica, and my mom is from the South. I don't know what location, but she was actually born in Germany. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I moved from living in the city. I lived in the city for about a decade, and then I moved to upstate New York, and that's where I've been living, Orange County.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been living there for about since '04, so pretty decent time. And then so
that's where you still live to this day.
Yeah.
With your fam.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you feel like where you were born and how you were brought up, especially ethnicity and nationality, affected your journey up until now?
Yeah, most definitely. One, because the music that I was brought up on, my dad always played old hip hop, 90s hip hop, early 2000s, all the time. And then since we West Indian, we had that side too, where I was growing up on dance hall, reggae, all of that. And then just my surroundings, being in the Bronx, always seeing the older people, what they were listening to, cars, loud music, police, gang violence, all of that. I was young, but I saw all of it. Having to see my parents, struggle, because my mom had me when I was young. She was 18. She had me. So people, when they see my mom, they think that's my sister.
Wow.
Yeah. So my parents was young, so they was hip to a lot of stuff that was going on, and it just kind of rubbed off on me, mostly with my dad playing the music. I remember one year, I had to be real young. I don't know what age I was, but we was watching, I think it was the BET Awards or something like that, but Method Man was on the TV. I thought it was my dad, because they had the same haircut. So yeah, I always just grew up on real hip hop.
Don't be ashamed, because I thought 50 Cent was my dad for a long time. So next question. So where did your love for music really start? When did you finally be oh shit?
My love for music probably started
in general.
In general, I would have to say just listening to the music that I was brought up on. I knew there was a message in it at a young age. Even though I probably didn't understand half the stuff they was talking about, I knew that they was telling somebody something.
Right. And
it kind of clicked for me. The music for me was a way to escape, so to speak. Even though they was talking about reality most of the time. That's just how I was raised. The music was always in me. I have old videos from when I was a baby, and my mom playing Mary J. Blige, and I was dancing to it. I couldn't even talk, and I was dancing to it. So I knew that music was always there, and I've always been told that I like music. Whenever songs would come on, I would know it. Radio, of course. I used to listen to Hot 97. I still do, all the time.
So where did your journey, or before we even get ahead, kind of going into that question, who were some of your biggest influence growing up, musical wise, and how did that started influencing your DJ journey? Where did your DJ journey start, and who really made you be damn, I kind of want to be like them? Or did you even have a moment like that?
For me, it changes, because everybody talk about their top 5 artists in terms of rap. They may be saying, you throw Jay-Z up in there, Nas, Tupac, Biggie. All of them is great. I listen to all of them all the time, but I feel that's kind of, it's cliche, but it's not a bad cliche. When I was younger, I didn't really have that 2 go-to artists. I was a big Bow Wow fan. I ain't gonna lie, I was a big Bow Wow fan for a little bit. When Chris Brown came out in '05, I was a big fan of his. It was my sister though. Like my sister was always into like the boy R&B kind of like collective, like B2K, B5. Like I was Romeo. Always put me on to stuff like that. Listen to it. You know, back in the days when we had. See, that's how I know I'm old. When we had to put.
Back in the day.
Yeah. When we had to put the CD in the
in the CD player.
Yeah, the CD. Yeah, CD player. Put the CD in there and then gotta press rewind and make for it to go back, like, and then put the headphones on. But like, I never really had in the beginning. I never really had people that I looked at. But when I got older, like say teenager years, like 14, 15, even like, cause before I was a big Lil Wayne fan too. I think everybody was like 08, from like 07 to 09, like Wayne was killing it. I was always listening to Wayne, and then this is the most weirdest like way it happened, but like I would have to do chores in the house. So every time I did chores, I would play music, and I didn't have no like real way to play music. I would just use Pandora. But I always, for some reason, I always went back to the older music all the time. Like it would be from R&B to what is it, to like 70s, 80s, 90s R&B, hip hop. I would always go back. Like I remember I used to clean every Saturday. That was the rule in my house. Every Saturday we had to clean the house, and I used to just listen to all of Biggie's albums, all of Tupac's albums, all of Wu-Tang, all of Tribe Called Quest, all the music that my parents was raised on. I was going back and listening to it. Early 2000s, DMX, all the Rough Riders, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, all of that, Fat Joe. I used to listen to all of that just cleaning the house. And that's kind of like, at an early age, I was getting out of that phase of listening to like Wayne and all the Cash Money and more. What
was out?
Yeah. I was getting out of that kind of phase and going into music that I was brought up on, essentially. And that's kind of like what shaped everything, because you know everybody was, because when you go into 2009, 2010, that's when you had like, I think, who came out in 2010? Waka, French Montana was out. Like the stuff that you hear now was starting to cultivate at that time. Me, I was kind of going the other way. And then around 2012, Pro Era came out, Joey Badass came out, and I was the most loyal, dedicated. I knew all of Joey's stuff, cause I remember I was in high school when Joey came out. I was in 10th grade, because that was 2012. I was in 10th grade.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. And I remember I used to wake up, MTV had the morning show. Yeah, where they be just playing music videos of new artists. It was like a music jam or something. Yeah. I used to wake up, it was like probably like 5:30 in the morning. I would just be waking up, listening to that. And all the other stuff on there was garbage. And then this one song came on, and...
What song was it?
It was Joey Badass and CJ Fly. The name of the song was Hard Knocks.
I remember when that came out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I was like, yo, who is this? And I was listening, and then I just kept looking him up, and I found all his music, and I was just listening to all of his friends that was rapping as well. And that kind of put me in that state of mind, like I don't have to always listen to what's on the radio. There's people out there that's making good music that aren't put on that pedestal. So
like mainstream.
Yeah, like you don't have to listen to mainstream all the time. There's good artists that aren't on the mainstream level, and that's kind of what started it for me. But I listen to everything because I'm a DJ. But yeah.
So when did the DJ journey start?
So ironically, I've never touched a pair of turntables growing up. Never seen anybody like I really didn't care growing up of who was DJing. I just knew if you better play this song, I want to hear it. That's it. I didn't really care. It wasn't until I came to college that I knew I would always love music, but that's when I came to college, my freshman year. My first semester here was the most craziest, my first semester here on this campus was probably the most eye-opening experience as a person to grow up. Because back home in Orange County, I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't go to any parties. My mom was not that type of parent where she allowed me to go out. If she didn't know their parents, she didn't let me go anywhere. She was strict. She didn't want me to go anywhere. And you know, when I look back, I was like, I'm glad she did that. But I feel like sometimes she should have let me go some places to gain some experience. It wasn't until I came here where it was like, oh my God, like I'm free. There's mad stuff I could do. But just knowing that I'm a strong-minded person, I didn't let that, you know, this whole college experience get to me my first year. I went to parties with all my friends. I had like 15 friends coming in, because I came to the orientation, and that's when you meet people. And so when you get on campus, I just hanging out with them. We went to parties. That's back when the school was actually lit. Right now, the school is not lit. It's not lit. But my first year indulging in alcohol, my first year watching people for who they are, I ain't even gonna lie, my first time seeing females actually like whine and dance, it was like, I saw it on TV, but I didn't see it in person. Seeing it, when I came to the school, I actually saw the DJ was kind of choreographing like the whole party, so to speak. I saw the DJ direct the crowd. I seen the DJ, and the DJ I'm referring to is DJ Crypto. Me and him is close now. He's somebody that I looked up to when I first came to school. My first parties going to this school was DJ Crypto. He did every party. Everybody on campus knew Crypto. That's the funny part.
When did he stop DJing?
He graduated like 2 years ago. Yeah, he still DJs, but he graduated like 2 years ago. And when I was a freshman, he didn't know me. I didn't DJ yet. And I was just watching him. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Still wasn't jogging in my head that I wanted to be a DJ. It wasn't until like the end of first semester into second semester where it started to get cold and we was going to less parties. I would go to my friend's room. Like I said, it was like 15 of us. It was a whole bunch of us. We would go to his room. He lived in B Comp. I forgot what building, but it was all the way on the 4th floor. And we was playing music and having drinking games and, you know, cracking jokes, you know, like the regular that you do with your friends. And everybody was so lit, there was nobody to change the song. So the song be playing and it just cut off. Like, who's gonna change the song? And we just sitting there looking at each other because we all just like, whatever. I was always into, because when I first came to school, my major was computer science. I was always interested in computers. So I just kind of like made my way over to the laptop. Got to the computer, and what I would used to do was I would have 2 YouTube windows open, have one song playing, and have the other song queued up to where I wanted to play at as soon as that song ends. Yeah, I was working YouTube, so like I had one song playing, then I had the other one. I cut that one off, like just dry cuts into the next song, and then I was like, I told my friend, I'm like, I'm thinking I'm gonna take this serious. Like real serious. And nobody believed me. They was like, yeah, whatever, you gonna be a DJ, whatever. I'm like, alright, cool. I bought me a little portable speaker because we just used the laptop. So I bought me a little portable speaker. I found this website to download DJ program. Yeah, like a DJ program. It was virtual DJ. It's so crap. But
I used that before.
It is so crap.
It is not.
It is the most horrible system you could work on. But that's what I had. I didn't know anything else. So I plugged the speaker in. It was a little portable speaker. It was not big at all. It cost like $10. And I got all my songs. I transferred all my songs from my iTunes account onto Virtual DJ, and I was just playing off of that. I was learning. My boy Grant, he still goes here. He's a senior as well. You know Grant. Yeah. I used to be in his room because he lived in A-Comp where I lived, just 2 buildings over. So I would just go through the underground path because it was cold outside. And I'd be in his room, and I'd be like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna make a mix of songs." And he would just sit there and gas me up, even though, like, to this day, if you ask him, he would tell me I was garbage.
I can see Grant saying that, though.
Yeah, Grant was telling me, like, yeah, bro, you got it. He was lying.
I could see him hyping you up.
Yeah, he was hyping me up. I thought I was really doing something. I didn't have no turntables. I didn't have any type of equipment, just my laptop. So that semester ended. I wasn't even known on campus. Nobody knew I was DJing, just my friends. And I told myself, like, people doubted me. Like, I could really do this. I could really do this. So over that summer, I got 2 jobs. I worked at Gymboree, which is a baby clothing store. Don't judge me. I needed to get some money. I had to wear an apron and all that. Like I was working at Build-A-Bear or something. But I worked at Gymboree and I worked at PacSun. I don't know if you're familiar. Yeah, I worked at PacSun.
PacSun was over here?
Nah, back in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went home over the summer.
Okay.
That summer, end of my freshman year, and I got 2 jobs and I was working. I didn't make a lot of money, but my goal was to buy some equipment. So I bought me a little tiny controller. I still use it to this day for village parties. I bought me a little tiny controller and I told myself I was going to learn on this. So when I get back to school, I'm going to be doing parties just like crypto. So that was my goal all summer. I would go to work, come home. It would be 11 o'clock at night, coming home from work. And I'll be DJing until like 4 in the morning. Then got to wake up, go back to work. Just repeat all summer. I would just be practicing. Even though I wasn't, like, how can I say, like, even though I didn't know how to really DJ, I would just watch videos and try and replicate. Watch videos, replicate the best of my ability. And August came around, going into my sophomore year. Still wasn't known. Those first 3 weeks on this campus, coming back was probably the most work to get myself out there as I probably did that year. Like that was crazy. I came. So how did it happen? I came on campus and I had this friend named Bo. He was popular on campus. Everybody knew him. All the girls knew him. And I told him that, yo, I DJ. And he kind of like, yeah, whatever. He didn't believe me at first. And there was this party. There was probably a week into the semester. So, you know, everybody looking for a party to go to the first week. So I went to him and I was like, I don't know what music to play. Like, can you help me out? What kind of music do everybody listen to at parties? My first party was at the rugby house off campus. Oh. So it was down the street. And you know, listen to everything. They listen to everything. Yeah. So Bo was like, I DJ too. Everybody was like, what? Everybody DJs all of a sudden. So, yeah, everybody.
Why would you want to DJ?
Everybody DJs all of a sudden. So I was like, alright. He said he DJ, and then I told him I DJ. He said he was going to DJ the rugby house, but he'll let me do it. And I'm like, oh, alright, cool. So we went to the rugby house, and you know, I didn't know anything about setting up equipment, speakers. I had them do that for me. They it was just the aux cord into the my equipment. And we plugged it in. I had my laptop. I still have pictures from the first party I did. I still have pictures.
We'll throw them in here.
Yeah. And the party was actually good. My first party was actually pretty decent. But that's the beginning. So when that party was over, Bo took me back to campus. I had a portable speaker with me. I still have it too. I had a big portable speaker. It was like a 40-watt speaker. It was really loud. I had made a Jersey mix because that's when Jersey club music was really popping at the time. I had made a big, like, half an hour Jersey mix, and I knew everybody would like this. So we came back to campus. He dropped me off. He was walking with me. We was walking by Conover, and the Villages is right there. There was this party going on. I believe my boy DJ Fortunes was DJing that party. He still does, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, DJ Fortunes was DJing that party. It had got shut down. Everybody that was in that party was on the lawn. Like, there was at least 50 people. And then the people that couldn't get in the party. So, there was a lot of people outside. And Bo was like, yo, plug up your laptop to the speaker and play your Jersey music and go out there. I was like, for real? That's exactly what happened. We went out there. I had my speaker on my shoulder. I had my laptop in my other hand. Went out there in the crowd. I just put my speaker down, sat on the speaker, and had my laptop playing the music, and the crowd just came. I still got footage from that too. Everybody just came, and I was hyped. That's the first introduction to anybody that as me as a DJ on campus. Everybody was coming to me. And after that, it just took off. Like, the next week after that, we had a friend in the village, and he let us use his apartment. We did a party in there. It was actually pretty good. I still got footage from that too. Excuse me. Every weekend I was just party. It would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday to Thursday, work. Friday to Saturday, parties. And that's exactly how it happened for the whole semester. And then to one time, we did a party in the village, and then Crypto was doing a party in the 4s. So I was in the 6s, he was in the 4s. So it was kind of a battle. Same time, same night. Yeah. People was leaving his party to come to my party, which was crazy because I wasn't even paying attention. I found out after.
And then he was looking.
Yeah, he was like, "Who's this kid playing music the same night?" Because he's the biggest DJ on campus. So he came. Some type of way. I wouldn't say that, but it was a little like, a little friendly competition. Like, who's this kid? Yeah. Bo went to go get him and introduced me to Crypto. Me and him exchanged numbers. He said he liked what I was doing, and then it just went from there. I was happy to get his recognition because that was literally my first party on campus. Like, that was big. And then he had hit me up, and he was like, "Do you have equipment?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "We having a party next weekend. I want you to DJ with me and my boy Zach." I was like, "All right, cool." I went to that party and I met somebody that I look up to in all aspects of music. His name is DJ Z-Rex. He graduated last semester, but this kid, I don't know why, but I guess he probably saw something in me compared to everybody else that was on campus DJing. I don't know if he saw something in me or he just liked what I was doing, but this kid took me under his wing and he taught me the basics of DJing. Like, he was the first person to bring me to the station. I didn't know anything about the radio station. I didn't even know this existed.
You're like me, basically.
Yeah, I didn't know this existed. I come in here, all this equipment, speakers, mics. I'm like, oh wow. We did that party and it was like magic because he was mixing songs without stopping them. And I was like, how do you do that? Because me, at the parties, what I used to do is I'll play the song. Same thing I did on YouTube. Play the song. When I felt like that song was, time to be turned off, I'll go to the next one. He was just blending songs left and right. And I was like, how?
You was trying to...
Yeah, like, to me, it was magic at first. I was like, how did you do that? Right. And he showed me. He was like, come to the station with me one day. And even though it took me a while to pick it up, he had showed me the basics, like on how to count bars in songs, how to count bars, how to know the BPM of a song, and song selection. That's another big thing for DJs is song selection. So he taught me all of that, and I would just watch him. I would come to the station every time he was in here, and I would just watch him. I didn't have any card access to here, so anytime he came, I came. I would be listening to him on the radio. And that's literally how I learned. And then it was YouTube. Like, it was between Rex and then another DJ I look up to is DJ Relly Rel. I was just going through YouTube one day and I was looking up Hot 97 DJs, and his video came up back in 2010. Funkmaster Flex, he used to do, I believe it was Thursday nights, he used to let a guest DJ come on the air for 30 minutes. Okay. And Rel was just on there just killing it. Really? I was like, that's what I want to do. Right. With everything he was doing in that video, I was like, that's what I want to do. I watched that video at least 100 times. Wow. I studied that video, and it was just between Zach and him. I was just going back and forth, doing parties, and I told myself, like, my goal becoming a DJ for this campus was I want to be the biggest DJ. Like, I always had that mindset, like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to my full potential. Like, right. If I'm doing these parties, I want everybody to know my name no matter what. And that was my goal. My goal was to, because Spring Fling is every year where they bring artists to the school and they, perform. And before the artists come out, they usually have DJs on the stage. I told myself and Rex, I was like, yo, one day we're gonna get on that stage. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. that was my goal. Cause there was other DJs that didn't go to the school. I'm not gonna say their name, but they came to the school and they was doing every party. I was like, man, I want to be them. Right. I want to do what they doing. Like, it was no shade or anything like that, but I just felt like I could do better.
This your school.
Yeah, like, it was my school, and plus I was like, I could do better. Like, I always looked at, like, even with with Rex, like, I look at him, I'm like, I want to be better than you. Like, it's not.
It has to be. Like
yeah, like, I want to be better than you. I want to be better than everybody. Like, I don't see how that's a bad thing, because a lot of people be looking at me like, oh, you just real cocky, conceited. Yeah, I'm just real confident. I know. Like, I still have a lot of things to work on now, but, like, watching Zach taught me the basics. But I'm like, bro, I see what you're doing, but I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to try and do it better.
Right. We had some technical difficulties again, and basically, one of our cameras died. So, you're going to see a lot of switching of the mics and... You know, maybe the forces of the world trying to hold you back, hold your interview back a little bit. But let's get back into it. You were basically talking about, like, how your major now, business, is, like, you know, relating to what you want to do in the future. And I don't know if you wanted to continue going that or get to the next question.
Yeah. So, like, the marketing aspect. So, like, I knew... As a DJ, I needed to have a logo. I needed to have some sort of brand of, like, who's DJ Taayy. Yeah. So my first thing was my sophomore year, my girlfriend at the time. I didn't have anybody to do a drop for me, like a DJ drop. Like, you know, in a party you hear, like, a DJ's name. Yeah. I didn't want anything corny. I didn't want anything, like, that everybody else had. I wanted, like, what I really wanted to do, I wanted something that people kind of familiarize themselves with, but I had my own touch to it. Yeah. So, like, if you know the Rick Ross Maybach music, like, the Maybach. Yeah, I was like, I want that, but I want my name. So I was like, I told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, I'm gonna need you to do me a huge favor. Can you say my name? And it was on a little iPhone.
How did she say it?
I had her, it was just a dry cut. I had her say just my name, but I wanted her, my message to her was to say it sexy.
Okay.
Say it in a sexy voice. Don't overdo it. Just say it in a real mellow, sexy voice, and then I'll figure out the rest. Okay. It took us 30 minutes. For real? She didn't like hearing her voice play back. Okay. I had to listen to it. Yeah. So she didn't like, a lot of people don't like hearing their voice over a recording, so it took us 30 minutes. Okay. And I was very upset.
Did you get yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. And then my boy Rex, he also produces, so he knew how to change the sound of her voice, how I wanted it, and put their own effects on it. So I had him do that, and I was like, yes, like, that's the first step. Because, like, when I'm in a party and it's like 3 DJs and each one is taking turns, one might play and put their drop on, another might play and throw their drop. When I get on, they thinking it's somebody else. I'm like, no, I want them to know who's playing this music right now, so I put my drop. Like, even at parties now, I still do it all the time. It's like putting your own touch onto whatever you're playing.
It's like they do, yo, Pierre, come out here.
Yeah, like on a beat, like, same thing, like producer drops, DJ drops, same thing. Yeah. So first step for me was to get a drop. Mm-hmm. Next thing was for me to get a logo. So the logo I have now on the back of my laptop, that's not the same logo I started out with. Like, if you look at that flyer right there or that other one, like that sweater that I'm wearing, that was my first logo. Okay. And I found it off of this website. I'm not going to say what website because it's kind of crap. But I found it on this website and I kind of just threw my name on it. Okay. And I was like, this is going to have to do. I liked it at first, but now that I look back, since I'm, you know, growing my brand, I was like, this looks kind of childish. I need something a little bit more grown. Serious. Yeah, something that when they see that, they know who it is. Mm-hmm. And so I had that logo for about a year. I had that logo, and then while I was DJing, I was like, let me do, since it's a brand, let me have some clothes too. So I had started my own side clothing brand, with my logo on it. I was doing everything. Like I told you, I didn't have a team. Like I'm doing everything from marketing to my clothing to putting out mixes to doing radio to doing parties. I was like, I want to do it all. Right. Like I wanted to maximize my time while I was here at school. So, what was it? Last year, my junior year. By that time, people knew who I was on campus. They followed me on social media, or they probably seen me at a party. Like I was not satisfied, but I was content for the moment of where I was at, cause I was like, there's 3 other DJs on campus, or maybe 2. I didn't at the time, and everybody on campus knew me the most.
Yeah, I only know you. Okay.
Yeah, people knew me the most, and I kind of looked at that like it was the work that I put in. Like it was no shade to the other DJs on campus, cause I'm friends with them, but I always looked at it like I put the work in. I always promoted myself, even though nobody probably looked at it really, probably one person, but that one person took it somewhere. Right. Like even if I posted and 100 people view it, like I always see on Snapchat who views my stuff, so, and I see with screenshots and all that, so I always see like there's probably one person that screenshots it, but then they take it and they post it on their social media, and then it's, so then it spreads.
Your flyer for when, not Tipsy Girl. No, Tipsy Girl. I seen the new Tipsy Girl flyer for you for this school year, and I was like, that's kind of how I was gonna go to Tipsy Girl, but I didn't because I don't know, I don't got no money like that.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, that flyer literally was the flyer that was like that's when I first followed you, and I was like, who is the dude? Like, he's promoting himself. He's coming out here.
Yeah, flyers.
Serious.
Everywhere.
He was really serious in that flyer. Like, you're not playing.
Yeah, flyers everywhere, promotion, everything. And good thing I have, like, that's the thing, like, my circle right now from the beginning of the school has gotten tremendously smaller. My friend Grant, he's in the business school as well. Me and him always spoke about me being a DJ, him being behind the scenes business-wise, and me getting me into clubs or getting me into a bar.
So that's why y'all kind of...
Yeah, like he seen the potential. He saw the potential. He knew where my head was at as far as this. So my junior year, I knew that people knew who I was, but I wanted to keep going. I'm like, why stop here? Right. So my goal was to get to Spring Fling and do the stage.
Are you doing Spring Fling?
This year, yeah. So last year...
You accomplished a lot of goals.
Yeah, I did Spring Fling last year. Yeah, I did Spring Fling last year. But the way it happened was just like, I swear things happen for a reason. I wasn't, my beginning of my junior year, I was not put on with the school. Like, the school wasn't hiring me for any events. I wasn't on yet. Like, the student body knew who I was, but the people that organized stuff on campus didn't know who I was yet. They knew Zach, because Zach was doing a few events here and there for the school. So, long story short, well, probably not an interview. I just tell the story, but
just tell the story.
Yeah. What was it? What was it? Alright, so what party was this? Alright, it wasn't a party, it was fashion show last year. So this was when fashion show tryouts was going on, and then when they started getting everybody with their scenes and all that stuff, one of my friends, which was Bo's ex-girlfriend, her and I was friends. Well, we still friends, but her and I was friends, and she was a coordinator in the fashion show, and she knew that I DJ'd, so she asked me, do you mind doing a few mixes for the show? And I was more than happy to. And I was like, the way I was looking at it was, these mixes are going to be playing during fashion show where everybody's watching. She was like, yeah. I was like, I got you for free.
Right,
I got you, because I see what's going on. So I gave it to her for free. It was a lot of work. I tell you, those mixes for fashion show, them 4 minutes.
Oh, I'm modeling the fashion
You do? Yeah, them 4 minutes that the music is playing.
It'd be like 7 songs, 8 songs.
It's a lot of work.
And then you gotta.
But there was 2 parties going on that night. Everybody on this campus should know that story, but There was 2 parties going on that same night. One DJ that used to DJ on this campus, I'm not gonna say his name.
Is that the crazy night where it was a fight or something? I heard.
Nah, it was just nobody showed up. Yeah, nobody.
After party?
Nobody.
I heard like 3 people showed up.
I was one of them. That was in GSU when nobody was there. But the people that organized the party, there was this one girl that I knew that was also a part of the whole organization, I guess, of fashion show and all that. And she knew the people that was in charge. Her name was Destiny. She used to go to this school. But everybody knows Mama. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Mama. Mama is like, everybody knows Mama. Like,
I even know Mama, and I think Mama knows me, but not as much as I know her.
Yeah, everybody knows Mama. Like, if you want something done on this campus, go to her. Yeah. So, Destiny came to me, and she knew I was a DJ. Mm-hmm. She was like, Tay, go speak to Mama, because Mama wasn't too thrilled with the other party that was happening off campus, because they put money into the party. Yeah, they put money into the after party. So there's business behind all this stuff. Like, it looks fun, but there's money being lost at the end of the day. So Mama was really upset. Felicia that used to work here, she was working with Mama, and Destiny brought me to them, and she told them, like, look, Tay's a good DJ. He DJs on this campus for all the parties. Y'all should give him an opportunity. Mama was like, come to my office Monday. I was like, say no more. I'm there. Went to the office. Mama was real serious, because she don't play no games. She was real serious. Felicia was there. They were eating lunch. I was just sitting there, and she was like, we're going to give you... And that's the thing, before I even get to that story, I got the opportunity to go meet Mama and talk about doing the future events for the school, but I didn't want to leave my friends behind, like, because Rex kind of showed me the beginning, and everybody else that I'm friends with that are DJs, I was like, I don't want to just be put on, and I know that we all wanted to get on as well, and I kind of felt bad, so I was like, I'm gonna ask Rex to come with me to meet Mama. So we went. Mama was like, Mama knew Rex. She didn't know me. So Mama was like, I'm gonna give y'all one event, and this is a test run. I'm gonna see how it goes. It's gonna be for 2 hours. It was a wellness event they had in GSU.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she had me and Zach do it. I do everything digitally, because there's no means of walking around. Like, in some cases to do, yeah, but like I do everything online now with, like, in terms of flyers. But
Grant is your promoter.
Low key, yeah.
He goes hard.
Yeah. Grant goes.
No, but I tried my hardest to, like, if I do see him post something, I'll, like, repost.
Yeah, and everybody that reposts my stuff, like, I just want to say thank you, because it means a lot. Because it was a time where I would post stuff and nothing. Yeah. So, but like after that, after spring fling and then like semester ended, I got a nice paycheck. I got a nice check from the school, and I was like, I'm gonna invest this into my brand. I bought me some more equipment, because the equipment I had was not cutting it. It was not cutting it. So I bought me some equipment, and I told myself, then I started working at Nike over the summer. Okay. And while I was working at Nike, I also had an internship. And then while I had both of those going on, I was doing events left and right over the summer, just making money. And I stayed off of social media last summer to focus on my craft. I didn't want to be distracted. I didn't really go on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I didn't use all that. I didn't post anything. And then at that time, my hair was long. I had real curly hair. I was like, I want to change, because like I'm getting older, and I wanted to look different. Like, everybody knew me for having long curly hair, and I had long curly hair, and I dyed it. I had my sides shaved off. It was like a honey blonde.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I had my hair dyed like that. When I came to school, my hair wasn't dyed, but it wasn't like this. Okay. So that's how people knew me. So I was like, nah, when I come back to school, I'm gonna make a statement. I'm cutting all this off this summer. But I didn't want to just cut my hair and just show up. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna cut my hair, I'm gonna get my waves going. So when I get back, I'm really gonna be stunting. But yeah, all summer I just was working, just stacking my money. I didn't spend it, I didn't buy anything. I just saved my money. Like, I saved my money a lot. All the events I was doing, I did like since I was getting better at DJing, I was getting like a wide range of different types of events. I did a 75th birthday party over the summer, and you would think somebody my age, like, how do you know that kind of music? But I was just I'm open to, like, that's how I was raised. Like, all my aunts, uncles, grandparents, even my parents, like, you know, Whitney Houston, all the old school heads, like, I just know it, like Frankie Beverly and Maze, like, I just know all kinds of music, and I'm like, I could do this 75th birthday party, and I did it, and they was amazed, because one, I'm young, and I was born in the 90s, and two, people my age, they don't really know this kind of music or care. They don't go back. They don't go back. A lot of these songs that's out now, they replicate old stuff. Like, for an example, Kodak Black, he got a song called Transporting. That song came out in the 90s. People they just redid the beat, but people don't know that. They just assume it's brand new.
Like,
at a party.
Like, before you go on stage, is there, like, anything you have to do before or after? And also, what are some songs that you absolutely hate playing?
That's a good question. That's a good question. So for the first one, rituals is to make sure I have the music. I usually, before a party, probably the day of or a couple days before, I always like to prepare. So, like, when I had those events over the summer, like those real events, not school events or like village parties, but like when they actually book me, I make sure I have a playlist for that designated time frame that they hire me for. So most of the time I get hired for 4 hours. I make sure I have enough music, because I overthink a lot. So I'm like, I don't know if 200 songs is going to do it. I need to have 400 songs.
I've made some mixes before, and it's a lot of songs. Yeah,
and I'm like, depending on how fast you blend songs, that's the pace of the party. So, like, if you blend in songs and you only get into a minute of each song and you blend it into the next one, you got to look at that time, because, like, one song might be, I always prepare with, like, making sure I have the music. What do I want to play? What kind of crowd is it? I always think about that beforehand. After, to be honest with you, I just want to go home and go to sleep. Or after, it's about packing up. Or it's after I make sure I push my business even further. Like, I have business cards too. Like, I'm really business oriented when it comes to my craft. Like, I have business cards. Usually, depending on the event, I try and wear my logo. But now I don't really have to, because I have it on my laptop. So I don't have to do that anymore. But I have my business cards. I have a website that I'm currently fixing, because my old website was kind of childish. I didn't really like it. But I haven't.
How do you feel about my website now?
Yeah, this week I actually started working on a new one, and I actually like it, but I just gotta pay for it now. After songs that I don't particularly like to play at parties.
You have any? Or pet peeve songs that, like, people always bug you now or later?
Always. It's mostly the girls.
Yeah.
It's mostly the girls that be like, can you play some twerking music? Can you play something so I can, dance? So, like, at a party, I try and cater to the females more than the guys, because the guys is easy. Like,
it's about us.
Yeah, like, y'all control the party. Females control, because if y'all not dancing, guys not dancing.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And then you got them, them studs that be on the sideline while everybody dancing. They just sitting there looking all mad. Like, I hate people that be at a party and they just standing on the wall mad. Like, for all that, you could have just went home.
And laid in the bed.
We could have live streamed it for you. You're not playing for yourself. You're playing for other people. So even if, like, that's when you ask me about what songs that I don't like to play, it's not so much that. It's more on the mixing side, on the DJ side. Because I've played songs where I don't listen to it at all. I hate it.
That's what I probably meant by the question. Like, the songs that you personally
don't listen to, probably 90% of what's playing at parties I don't listen to. Yeah, like, I don't listen to.
I'm listening to them because I'm there.
Yeah, and I only listen to them because I have to. When I'm downloading music and organizing my songs and playing it at parties, and then I listen to it to know what people like. But other than that, I don't. On my free time, on my own time, when I'm not DJing or focusing on that aspect, I have my own selection of music I like to listen to. Cause you're not gonna go to a party and play no R&B, no smooth stuff. You're not gonna do that.
If I was a DJ, I would be playing that and neo soul.
Yeah, see, like
a lot of weird other stuff.
But there's parties for that.
Yeah.
But I know in the college scene, people drunk, they all over the place. They not looking to hear. They just wanna, all over the place. They just wanna all over the place. And then another thing, like even though I'm West Indian, like the most difficult thing for me is getting dance hall music. Cause when I was growing up, it was more hip hop than it was dance hall. Like it wasn't dance hall. It was more of like calypso. Growing up for me, it wasn't so much of the dance hall. It was reggae and calypso and a little bit of soca, but it wasn't like the music that you hear now. And there's a lot of West Indians that go to this school. They know what's hot.
Right.
I gotta stay on top of that.
You gotta stay connected with them.
Yeah, I remember one time I was at a party and this girl came up to me. And she was like, Tay, you got this song? Because I was playing a dance hall. She's like, you got this song? And I looked for it and I was like, I don't have it. And I hate telling people I don't have music. Yeah. It sucks. Like, for me, it sucks.
And on the other side, it looks like...
Yeah, it's like, what kind of music do you have then? It's like, you a DJ, like, where your music at? So I'm like, I need to have everything. And dancehall is one of the genres that I struggle with to this day because it's... when dancehall comes out, it comes out in rhythms. So it's like you got all the same beats, and you got you got the same beat with like 50 artists on it. It's like which one is hot right. For a party at least.
And they already, like as you were going throughout the school year, you were obviously making a lot of goals come to reality. The flyer, the spring fling event, the fact that
my favorite DJ.
Right, like you're 22, and
just turned 22.
You're already doing. I don't know if you have a bucket list, but
I do.
You have a bucket list, so that's the last question that I had. And probably won't be the last. But the last question was on your bucket list. What are top 5 goals?
I want to do stadium Summer Jam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to DJ for Summer Jam. I want to DJ on the radio station out here, Hot 93.7. I also want to DJ on Hot 97. Like I feel like radio to me was a way for me to show people I can really DJ. It's not a party. I can play party music, but I can show off my skills actually DJing. So that's why I like radio so much. But yeah, that's on my bucket list is to actually get on a big radio station. Also stages, stadiums, concerts. It's funny that you mentioned that. So last semester, I was DJing regular Tipsy Girl. Not so many campus parties, cause I told you I did. We're gonna get to that question, but yeah. So I was doing village parties in the beginning of the last semester, not so much like towards the end. Then Tipsy Girl came around, I was doing that. More off-campus stuff this year for me, cause I got my car on campus, and I've met other DJs off campus to the point where I'm able to be a little bit more mobile and actually be in Hartford. So I don't want to just be known for the school. Like that's another thing on my bucket list that I'm starting to achieve is to not just be known here on this campus, but other campuses as well. Okay. So like I've met friends now that I have a few friends that are DJs on each campus in this area. So I got somebody from CCSU and Trinity and UConn. So I know DJs everywhere. So now I'm like, bro, can I come with you to do this party over there? So I've done a few events over at Trinity, so I can get my name out over there as well. But it's funny that you mentioned about bucket list and goals, cause over winter break, DJ Relly Rel, he DJs on Hot 93.7 here in Hartford. He went to school in New Haven, so I don't know how that happened, but he was on the station, and I listened to him every time he was on. He'll be on from Saturdays from 11 to 3 a.m. On Hot 93 called Trill Radio, and he'll just be playing everything, all the hottest stuff, and then he'll play throwbacks. But I just like the way Rel DJs. I was like, to me, that's how I DJ. Like how he DJs, real. To me, it's a more of a aggressive, assertive style of DJing. So That's how I kind of looked at my style. And I listen to Rel all the time. Like, that's my favorite DJ. Top number one. Like, up there. Like, everything. But it was funny because over winter break, he was on the radio, and I'm back in New York, but I'm still listening to him in Hartford because I have the app for this radio station up here. I have the app just to listen to him specifically. So I listen to him every time he's on, and I was always commenting on his pictures because he'll be like comment for a shout out and request, like, or what radio stations normally do. So I will always comment under his pictures, and he'll be shouting me out on the radio every now and then, which is cool. And then like requests, I always request a song, even if he probably don't play it or not. But I just wanted him to know that I exist in some form of fashion, and let him know that he's my favorite DJ. Like, you know, if I was somebody's favorite DJ, I would want them to tell me. So I put that out there on social media that he's my favorite DJ. And one night he DM'd me, randomly, like on some random. Like, I was actually practicing, which is weird. I was up practicing when he hit me up. He DM'd me on Instagram, and whatchamacallit, he DM'd me on Instagram, and he was actually in the area asking me. Somebody that came into the next room.
Okay.
He had DM'd me on Instagram asking me because Smoke Dizzle was dropping a mixtape, and I think Rel was DJing the mixtape, like he was hosting the mixtape, but he needed equipment, and he thought that I lived in Hartford. So he hit me up asking if I was in Hartford and if he could use my equipment, but I had to deny it because I don't live there. But I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I didn't want to seem like, oh my god, like it's my favorite DJ, like
oh, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I didn't want to come off like that because, you know, that's not the person I am. I'm like, okay, cool, you needed something, but I couldn't help you out. I'm sorry. And I just left it as that. I didn't hit him back up or anything like that. And then a week later, he came to my DM again, and this time he sent me his number. And I was like, what? That's when I was like, what? He was like, he sent me his number and he was like, call me. Mind you, I just woke up. I didn't even hit the bathroom yet.
It was like mad early?
Nah, I woke up late. It was early for me. But yeah, I didn't even hit the bathroom yet. Like, he was like, call me. I'm all ecstatic. I'm like, okay, cool. So I called him. I had my morning voice, all that. And he was like, I have an opportunity for you. Like, this is his exact words. I have an opportunity for you that I want you to fly out to Colorado for his New Year's Eve concert and DJ for Smoke Dizzle.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there like
I just woke up.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow. Like,
that's amazing.
That's crazy. So he asked me to go DJ in Colorado, and I've never flown anywhere to go DJ. The only 2 states I've DJ'd in was, actually 3, Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. I've never DJ'd outside of those 3 states.
So you're getting out the tri-state area.
Yeah, I was just like, man, this is a big opportunity. Like, I was on the phone because I didn't know what to say. So Rel was like, look, when somebody calls you like this, they don't want to hear that you can't do it, that, you know, like, you know, when an old head is calling you, I wouldn't call him old, but like when somebody that's up there that's kind of made it already or already made it, and they calling you and giving you an opportunity, the last thing they want to hear is, last thing they want to hear is that. And sadly enough, I had to deny it, that opportunity, because I've never been out of the state to go DJ, and they were only giving me 1 ticket to fly out there and fly back. I couldn't bring anybody with me. I wanted to bring somebody out there with me just in case, you know, something went down or he didn't come through on his end, because I've never actually sat down with Rel and actually spoke with him. It was just, you know, social media or like that.
Was he coming?
What? Nah, I don't know. He didn't say if he was coming or not.
Oh wow.
But he yeah, like this opportunity, I was like, I want to go. Like, it sounds like a life-changing experience. Like, I could have got anything out of that. Like, what if I did really well and people was looking at me like, who's that kid? And the concert was a New Year's Eve concert, so it was all the way out there in Colorado, and Migos was performing, like all these big artists. Like, the stadium was huge.
Wow.
Huge, like huge. But I'm like, I can't go out there by myself. I don't know anybody.
Right.
Like, what if they don't come through?
Were they gonna give you like a hotel?
Yeah. They was gonna give me a flight there and back one night. One night. Like leave New Year's Eve and come back New Year's Day. So I'll only be out there for a night. Go out there, but I didn't want to be out there by myself. Everybody that I spoke to, I kind of got like mixed answers to that. Like people was telling me, oh, you should have went. You should have just took the opportunity and went. And then some people was like, you made the right decision because you want to go out there by yourself. What if it's not what you expected? So like,
I would say just from my response that obviously everybody's gonna say you should have went. But on the flip side, if you got that while still in college, like you didn't even graduate yet. That was your first big kid like invitation. Yeah. There's plenty more coming.
That's what I said. Like, even though Rel's my favorite DJ, and he probably was like, you can't do it. You're not really about your business and all that. I don't know what he was saying, but I looked at it as fuel. I was like, if I can't go, I gotta find a way to have another opportunity like this. Like, how else can I, because I know a lot of the DJs that I know, they not getting opportunities like this. So like, why me?
Right.
That's what I was saying. I was like, why me? Why did Rel pick me out of?
That's because you was doing your work.
He knows mad. He probably know mad DJs. So I'm like, why did he choose me?
Everything happens
for a reason. Yeah, everything happens for a reason. So I'm like, yeah, okay, don't sweat it. Just keep doing what you're doing. So when I came back this semester, like I kind of didn't have a chip on my shoulder, but it was like, man, I'm getting called for opportunities like this. What else can I do here? Like, I'm already like getting out there. Like, how else can I get out there even more? Like, just constantly working on my craft all the time.
That's what's most important. So yeah. I definitely feel like it's a conflicting situation.
Yeah.
I would have been a little torn too. Like
I was mad that whole day. Like my day had just started and it was ruined. I was like, man, I can't go. I was so upset. New Year's was right around the corner. I didn't even look at the ball drop. Like, yeah, I was like, I don't really care about New Year's. I'm mad.
Like, fuck this.
Yeah, I'm mad. We were speaking about this off camera, but the most craziest party I've done was getting thrown up on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got thrown.
Sorry, Ange.
I got thrown up on my face. I was beyond.
That was the craziest experience you ever had.
Well, the most nastiest one.
Nastiest.
Yeah, that was the nastiest one.
What's the baddest?
The baddest fights.
Fights. Have like brought out while you were
playing? Yeah.
Was it
village parties?
Oh.
Village parties. I had somebody yell he got a gun at a party in the village one time.
You like?
Yeah, my first thing was grab my equipment. Everybody was running, but I'm like, I still got my laptop and my equipment here. I don't care about the speakers; they're not mine. But I was like, I need to get out of here too. I need to get my equipment. I still want to live after this. So yeah, like I had somebody yell he got a gun. There was a fight where the tables in the village is thick. There was a fight so bad that the table broke in half. And it wasn't just two people fighting, it was at least like a whole squad of people, like squad against squad, going back and forth.
Those are wooden tables.
Yeah.
Like I could bring that home as a table.
Yeah, it's like a real dining table, like table thick, but
they broke it.
They broke it in half. I've seen plenty of fights at parties. Like, to me, it's regular. It's a bad thing, but...
At this point? Or...
Like, more professional events, you're gonna see that. But when you got, like, real ratchet parties, like the ones that happen in the village...
You're like, whatever.
Yeah, to me, it's regular. It's either PS or a fight, or the party actually goes through.
And then Ange, that one time.
Yeah. And that party wasn't even supposed to happen. That was a promo party.
Oh, wow.
Because it was a promotional party, because I was trying to do something off campus. And we wanted people to come to this party so they could get the experience of what it would be like to go to this other party off campus. So I wasn't really supposed to do that party that night, but my boy Grant organized the whole thing. And actually the party wasn't off campus, it was supposed to be in GSU, but Grant organized the whole thing, and he's my friend, so I told him, yeah, I'll do it.
Grant organized that? Oh god,
yeah,
I feel so bad.
He organized
I heard it wasn't just you. I heard it was like other people too who kind of got...
Well, he started throwing up. Well, I didn't see it, but what I heard, he started throwing up in the crowd. And was trying to get to the bathroom, and where they had me situated was next to the bathroom, and he had his hand over his face, and the throw up just projected everywhere. It got all over my computer, it got on my face, my clothes, my pants. It got on my equipment, not this, but like I had my smaller.
You threw those clothes out, or?
Nah, I washed them. Even my headphones, like my headphones, these had throw up on. You know, I put bleach all over these, Clorox wipes, baby wipes, all of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was really pissed that night. I didn't talk to nobody. I was pissed at Grant. I'm like, you got me doing this party and people throwing up on me.
It's so funny that you said that, because the same night. Before, I told you, I was telling you before, and sorry, Ange, we putting you on the spot like this, but the night before Ange was there, and I was like, dude, you need to get yourself together. And,
yeah, he should have listened.
and the night after, the next night after, I'm hearing he's throwing up, and I'm just like, see, I told you to eat, to make sure you was good and drinking your water.
It was disgusting.
I feel bad.
That was the most nastiest thing I've ever had to experience.
We kind of shunned him so bad for that. We were like, man.
You threw up on the DJ?
We were like, what? And then it's funny because Ange is like, he's trying to be like a DJ. And so we call him DJ Ange.
Oh,
and so
man.
when he said that, we was like, you just ruined your whole career already. But that's really funny. So I don't have any more questions, so. We had a great discussion, and we probably have a lot more outside of the interview.
Yeah.
But obviously, this is your boy. You wanna do like a shout out?
Yeah. So this is DJ Tayy. Just wrapping up this interview, man. Thank you for this opportunity. But I definitely got some more work to do. I'm about to get busy this year too. 2018.
All right. It's J.Jemba, and I'm signing out.